The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. Jesus told his disciples a parable. Can a blind person guide a blind person? Will not both fall into a pit? No disciple is superior to the teacher, but when fully trained, every disciple will be like his teacher. Why do you notice the splinter in your brother's eye, but do not perceive the wooden beam in your own? How can you say to your brother, "Brother, let me remove the splinter in your eye," when you do not even notice the wooden beam in your own eye? You hypocrite, remove the wooden beam from your eye first, then you will see clearly enough to remove the splinter from your brother's eye. The Gospel of the Lord. You may have heard about this Protestant lay minister who was blind but would stand with an open Bible in front of his church at the crossroad, shouting out all the time, "I was blind, but now I see." Obviously, he was referring to his spiritual blindness of not knowing God, of not having a personal rapport with Jesus. And so he said, "I was once blind, but now I see." My dear sisters and brothers, blindness, physical blindness, is often seen as an imagery for spiritual blindness, for a state of unknowing, not knowing God or making any attempts to move in that direction. And yet, the gospel of the day speaks of blindness when it comes to one's own fault. It's always easy to notice the speck in our brother's eye and not see the wooden beam in our own. I do it all the time. It happens to me day after day after day. But it is about time that we sat back and turned the gaze onto ourselves and sat examining our conscience and say, how could I improve myself? Let's pause for a while and sit in a moment of introspection, a moment of making this inward journey. And let's take a closer look at ourselves to see how we could become a better person so that seeing the light in our eye, the other will be able to walk the way that we walk. Our life is a good homily, and we do need to mind what we preach. And introspection, self-examination always helps.